I'm using the Baseus 65 watts desktop charger. It is responsible for providing power to all these electronics on the desk, including a Sony camera, laptop, iPhone, Airpods. I'm a huge fan of its small form factor. It has dual USB Type-C and dual USB Type-A. And it's extremely useful when I'm away from a wall outlet or at an awkward position. For example, here, this box is pushed against the wall, so that flat plug is extremely useful. So I can have it really close to the wall. All right, let's take a look at its charging characteristics by hooking it up on a power meter charging test. And before that, I'd like to mention that this USB Type-C to Type-C cable is included as part of this product, and it's only a charging cable. It cannot do data transfer. And there are cable management built into the cable, and when plugged in, it's not consuming any electricity. Okay, right off the bat, I'd like to max out its power output by plugging in a Jackery power station and use it to charge it and see the power consumption from the meter and the input over there. So it's around 50 watts. So here I'm getting perhaps 60. And then I'm going to plug in an iPhone, which is gonna be very different. You will see why. So it shows 50 watts. And here is 57.4 watts. Okay. Now let's plug in your iPhone using its second USB-C cable, C port to Lightning port. The state of charge of my iPhone is around 66%. And now you can see the total power output will drop a little bit, because it's gonna redistribute power between these two devices. So I think the Type-C one is gonna be great for charging laptops. If you have a modern laptop like an iPad, then that's gonna be great for that. If I disconnect and reconnect the Type-C, you will see the, it got redistributed and may not get the 50 watts. So to maximize the Type-C port charging speed, you will have to perhaps connect the Type-C first to the laptop. And that's the catch. And now it's gonna, charge the iPhone at around 10 watts. Yeah. The power will increase over time. Okay, if I plug in the USB-C as my second device, it may not reach the 50 watts. Oh, actually it does. Well, according to my previous test, it did not, but I guess, well, I have better luck this time. Great. Yeah. And then feel free to plug in more devices and let's see what happens. This is actually a great result, nearly 60 watts. Now I'm gonna plug in a iPad, which is 35%. So unless I'm plugging in a power meter in the middle, USB power meter in the middle, there's no way to know for sure how many watts I'm getting to the iPad and how the distribution is done. But you can read here for more details, and it's a really complicated combination. So when you're getting USB-C and 1 and 2, it's 45 watts plus 15 watts max plus 5 watts with the USB-A. Yeah, it's not a easy thing to remember. So this label is actually pretty helpful if you are interested in learning more details. Yeah, it gets warm a little bit, but not hot at all. There is the power indicator on top, a little blue LED light. Yeah. And still, I'm charging the Jackery at 38 watts. And the total power consumption is 54 watts. So I'm currently sitting at 52 watts. What happens if I connect a 65 watts battery bank? You know, a massive 20,000 milliamps battery bank. Let's see what happens. Okay, the power consumption increased a little bit, but I never got the perfect test case to max out the 65 watts rated as stated on the label here. But I think it is a fantastic little device to keep all the small electronics charged on the same power outlet while with this LAN cable. But it's all about the perfect test case as stated on this label, the power distribution and the state of charge across the devices you are charging. So, well, it's all done automatically, and the power distribution are, you know, really automatically distributed by this charger itself. The total power consumption I ever got is around 58 watts. All right, hopefully, I hope you find this review helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I like the form factor a lot, like I said. I'm a big fan of this type of charger, though. Yeah.